going in, even though people were like doubting us, like we beat T1 a game.
And they had a lot of hope during those times for teams. But then ThinkCard in an interview after the split ended said that if you guys had 2 more weeks, you guys would have won the split.
I think that's what Thomas is saying.
You just kind of have to be delusional and just believe every single year that you're going to do it.
I will say we definitely have to take a few steps back.
And he did say that you, in the beginning of the split, kind of struggled adapting.
We just couldn't really communicate to each other that well.
I'm joined with Huhi during the 2024 Summer LCS Split Media Day. Huhi, I want to talk about NRG, but I also want to talk about the LCS in general. Back in 2016, you lost to Abax Nox Luna during Worlds, and then you went on to beat the undefeated Rox Tigers, the first seed from Korea, by playing ASOL, actually. The entire crowd was cheering. It was like USA. You also made MSI Finals that year. It felt like 2016 was, even 2018 a little bit, and they had a lot of hope during those times for teams. Recently, we really didn't have that kind of hope for the LCS to do well internationally, but with NRG, making quarters last year, a lot of pressure, a lot of expectation. With Team Liquid, they were very close to beating T1 if they're like 10% better. It just seems like we're close, but we're 10% away. What do you think the LCS needs to do to get back to that, heights of 2016 and 2018 to like, what is that 10% in your opinion?
I think honestly, it's just like we just gotta keep working hard and keep grinding. And especially like those games where we feel like we're really close, it just has to, I don't know, something just has to like magically click. I think that's what happened in my MSI run in the 2016. I think we're just super confident and going in, even though people were like doubting us, like we beat T1 a game. We could beat RNG as well, the undefeated team in the lower, not lower bracket, in the bracket stage, I think, before going into playoff. Yeah, I think confidence is the most important thing, but I think it's just since we've been losing a lot, especially internationally, we just don't have that confidence built in. But I think the important mindset is just being, just keep telling yourself that you're good enough and keep working hard, and eventually I think it will pay off. Yeah.
That's a fair answer. It's very similar to something that Mickey X said on G2, where he was like, you just kind of have to be delusional and just believe every single year that you're going to do it. Otherwise, you're just going to give up and not be able to do it.
I think, yeah, that you just have to kind of repeat to yourself that you can do it. And I think eventually it will happen.
I hope so. It feels kind of hopeless when you have 3 or 4 years in a row, Team Liquid just going 3-3 or playing a tiebreaker and losing, and then having even worse performances. It feels a little hopeless, but it's good that you guys don't really give up like some fans do. This is your second split going on to NRG. You were the only roster change. I think there were a couple. They got rid of 2 coaches and brought in 1 positional coach. You guys kind of struggled. You went 0-4 twice that split, I think. But then ThinkCard in an interview after the split ended said that if you guys had 2 more weeks, you guys would have won the split. Like you guys were right there to figuring it out. What changed in NRG that made him so confident that like you guys could have done it?
I mean, I think for us, it's just like figuring out how to play as a team. Especially, I think they had a really high before I joined. Like you already mentioned in the previous question, like they had an insane run at Worlds. They just won LCS. And then coming back, I think they've also had a lot of expectation, and I've also had a lot of expectation joining in the team and thinking that we're gonna mash straight up well and that we're gonna be dominant. But I think that just wasn't the case, and that we actually had to figure out how to put our egos aside, or how for me to kind of mash with the new team environment and them as well to mash with me. And I think towards the end of the split, especially, we started to figure it out a little bit and a little bit, and I think that's what Thomas is saying, that if we had few more weeks, I think we would have started clicking and could perform like to our potential.
Tell me a little bit more about meshing your style and the other team style, because I did talk to ThinkGuard Thomas, and he did say that you in the beginning of the split kind of struggled adapting to how NRG play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's just I came from Golden Guardians where I was kind of their primary voice or the leadership role, and I think Energy is like a team that I think collectively has more voices just in general. I think everyone has their own opinion about the game. So I think in the beginning, it just didn't we just couldn't really communicate to each other that well. Um, and I think throughout the split, especially, I can only speak for myself, but I'm sure for everyone and myself included, we just started learning about how to interact with each other and how to talk to each other. And that doesn't even have to be about the game, but I think that just in general helps uh, and translate to in-game communication and our gameplay. So I think it's been going a lot better towards the end of the split compared to the beginning.
All right, are you able to keep that momentum? You had like a pretty long break between March and now we're in June, so it's been like 2.5 months. Are you able to keep that momentum of figuring out the playstyle with the new patch, with lane swaps and all that stuff, or do you have to take a few steps back?
I will say we definitely have to take a few steps back because it's like you said, it is a long break, and the game is kind of different now too. But I will say that the skill about communication or how we interact with each other is still we still kind of maintained it, and especially all of us were really disappointed of our previous season. So I think we're a lot more hungrier and a lot more motivated compared to last split. So it just makes it really easy for us to kind of get use that motivation and use it in a positive way, so that people are more open and they're more like working hard in each scrim day. Yeah, so I think it's been going a lot better.
All right, I like that. Are you also working with Apollo, like in the positional coaching, or do you have a specific coach that you work with?
Yeah, Apollo is our balling positional coach. So after we do our team review, whenever we have time, me, Vic, FBI, and then Apollo will get together and kind of go over the laning stuff or like some detailing about the game.
How useful is that? Because I've heard both opinions from pro players where coaches are pretty much useless. They can't really teach you anything. And I've also heard like coaches are OP. They can figure out stuff for you and like just drill it into your brain. Where do you lie in between that spectrum?
I think there is obviously has to be a balance. And I think if you just straight up ask me a question about whether coaches are useful or useless, I think they're for sure useful. I think it's just whoever doesn't find them useless are either they don't have the right coach or they are not having the right mindset to use that coach. Um, and I think for us, Apollo does bring us like a new perspective or like just a third perspective. So whenever me and FBI are having like a argument or like disagreement in the game, he's usually there to kind of like facilitate that conversation or vice versa. Like if me and Apollo are having it, FBI can help us out, and like I can do the same for them. So I think it's been a pretty good relationship, I'll say.
And since we're talking about FBI in the bottom lane, you took a year gap. You played with Stixxay, who had kind of lost himself before you joined Golden Guardians. He looked like he was playing a lot more passive, and then you kind of gave him that confidence again. Now that you play back with FBI, what are some differences between Stixxay and FBI?
I think what you just touched based on was kind of like a perfect example. I do think Stixxay in the beginning was lacking the confidence, so I was doing my best to give him that confidence. And with FBI is like kind of completely on the opposite end, where we have too confident in each other. So you can even see in our games last play, we're just trying to 2v2 dive enemy ball lane under the tower, and something will go wrong, and our game is like completely ruined. Um, but that being said, I think we just have to find a better way to facilitate our lead or like our confidence so that we can use it in a positive way and not being overconfident and kind of hurt ourselves. So I think we're also figuring that out.
My last question to you, besides NRG, who are the top 3 teams going into Worlds? If you had to make a prediction.
Yeah, besides us, I think for sure TL, C9, and FlyQuest. Yeah, I think those 3 teams.
Okay, no Dignitas. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for your time. It's my first time interviewing Huhi, and he's actually a pretty chill guy. I like doing the interview. I want to interview him again. Actually, NRG last split I didn't get many of their players. I think I got 2. I got Dokla and I got Palafox, and I didn't get any of the other players, which is like the least. I did get 2 of their coaches. Anyways, that was last split. I did get Huhi, which is really cool, and hopefully I can get FBI and contracts coming up this split. But for you guys, 95% of you are watching this have not subscribed to the channel, but you keep coming back and watching the videos. So you should keep doing that. Keep coming back, keep watching the videos, and also subscribe, because that would be awesome. Thank you guys so much.